What's up guys, Ivan Carranza here, and today we're comparing the Origin Effects Cali76 TX against the new Cali76 bass compressor. Now before we continue, let me tell you that Origin Effects is not sponsoring this video in any way, shape or form. They did not ask me to make this video, they're not paying me to make this video. The only reason why I'm doing it is because you guys are curious about this and I've gotten many messages or requests to make this comparison. There's one thing though, and that is that Origin did give me the bass compressor a couple of months ago while I was on tour, and I've been using it ever since. It is actually also on my board, on my touring board, and I use it live. But like I said, they're not paying me in any shape or form. They have not paid me, and all you're gonna hear are my own thoughts and opinions. Now for this comparison, I played pretty similar grooves like on the video of the bass compressor and compact bass comparison. However, in this case, since the big box version, the TX, since it doesn't have a high pass filter or dry control like on the bass compressor, and also here on the bass compressor, the attack and release are in one single knob. So I just stuck to adjusting the input, output, and attack and release settings and the ratio. I did not use any dry controls or the high pass filter in the smaller pedal. Now, I think I dialed the settings fairly close, guiding me through the sound, the output, also how it felt to play through both units, and also the amount of gain reduction metering shown on both units. It's probably not 100% perfect, but I think I got pretty close. The one example where maybe it could have been a bit better was the second example where I played like a muted bass line, but I think overall it was a fairly close setting in both pedals. So let's jump to the samples, and then I'm going to talk about what I noticed or what I at least can hear. But before we do that, let me tell you that in general, compressor videos through YouTube are hard because they not only affect what you hear, but a big portion of what a compressor does is how it feels to play through one. So how it reacts to your playing, and that's something that you, the viewer, cannot experience. So that's just something to keep in mind when I tell you my thoughts later. But I think there are still some differences between both of them. So let's check out the samples and then let's talk about it. Now, if you've watched my other comparison between the bass compressor and the compact bass, you probably heard a bigger difference in terms of sound. The compact bass definitely adds more saturation. It has more grit if you run it at 9 volt compared to the bass compressor version, because this one runs internally at 24 volt. The big box version, when run at 18 volt, which is what I did, then it starts using the transformers that are inside. And I think these two units definitely sound much closer to each other than the compact bass and the bass compressor. So in terms of sound, I think they are pretty close. They're more transparent. They react fairly similarly. However, one thing that I do notice here when I was mixing and also when I was playing is that the big box version has more low end. And I have to say that even though I really like the bass compressor, playing through the big box version, the TX, just feels amazing. It's a really nice compressor. It's for me, for my opinion, or in my opinion, this is like a studio full-on unit, as if you had a rack 1176. And this is, let's say, the travel-friendly version. It's an amazing compressor. I actually use it on my pedal board. I love it. I think it adds a lot of, fairy dust to your tone. It's a really nice sounding compressor. But this one is, in my opinion at least, one step above. It's really hard to make this one sound bad. Now, the catch is that the big one is no longer produced. So at the moment, as of the making of this video, I looked online and these are going for around 900 euro here in Europe. So they are considerably more expensive than this one. And of course, another factor is the size. As you can see, they are really different in terms of size. Like the compact or the bass compressor is pretty much 3 times smaller than this one. So I don't know if I would take the big box version, to a gig on a pedal board, because it just takes up so much real estate. Unless you have, like a spaceship pedal board, or you have plenty of space that you can use for your setup. But even then, I think I personally would keep this as a studio compressor at home to record, because like I said, it's really hard to make anything sound bad through this, and it just adds some sparkle to the tone that I think this one does not have. Even though like I mentioned before, this is a really nice compressor and I actually use it live. I've been using it since I got it. So this is not to say that this is a bad compressor and this is just way better, but I think there is something unique about the bigger version. So which one do you get? Like I said, this is much more travel friendly. This is actually available right now. You can buy it. Whereas this one, you have to buy used and the prices are really high. And for that kind of money, if you're only gonna keep it at home, you might also start thinking about buying a rack compressor if you don't need to transport it anywhere, right? Because this you can still throw to your gig bag and take it to a recording session somewhere else, for example. Whereas, of course, a rack compressor, that's not possible. So just some food for thought there. But I think overall, even though I prefer this one, sound-wise, this would come with me, and actually is coming with me to gigs because of the size, because of the features. And I think also that if you start using the dry and the high-pass filter controls, you probably can get a much closer low-end response like this one, while still retaining the benefits of size and also that you can buy it now. And if something were to happen to it, you can buy a replacement as well. So those are my opinions. Like I said, this is not sponsored by Origin Effects in no way. They did not ask me to make this. I'm just wanting to share my experiences and my thoughts with you guys. So if you like this video, please let me know what you think in the comments, and also don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the content that's coming to the channel. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.